Good morning, friends. It's Valerie Ling here. How are you? Just wanted to come on very quickly and chat with you about the vulnerability bucket. That for some of us, when we are particularly out there doing our things, we can not really keep a track of how we're doing feeling vulnerable. So I had an interesting experience last week. During my period of week, sort of the last thing that I did was to book myself into all kinds of appointments, health appointments, things that I've been putting off. But it's in my diary, right, as a regular thing. I've got another set booked for my June-July period. And I had entered this particular healthcare environment, really not thinking anything about it, aware that, I usually go and sort of try my nicest, my hardest to be nice. And as they are a healthcare professional as well, and as you all know, I think about burnout in the healthcare professions. I automatically, whether I'm on leave or whether I'm working, will take a posture of encouraging and listening in and talking. It doesn't matter what healthcare professional I am. I usually try to inquire into who they are, how they're going, what's been like for them this quarter. But this time round, I was feeling a little under the weather, and my husband actually offered to drive me into my appointment just so, it would be pretty straightforward and easy for me to get there and back. And the particular appointment, the whole place was empty, so the door was open, and he was kind of lingering around, and he could hear everything that was going on in the room. And I didn't think anything of it. It was a fairly typical appointment for me. I did notice that because I was already feeling under the weather, I didn't notice that I just wanted to get out of there. I was pretty quiet. I did some cursory conversation asking this particular healthcare professional, how they were doing, catching up on where they were at. But I didn't volunteer any information about myself beyond the appointment, nor was I asked. And I went home and honestly, I didn't think anything more about it until my husband very quietly, as he was making, I don't know, maybe a cup of coffee or tea for us in the afternoon, he very quietly just mentioned, he said, that was a particularly passive-aggressive appointment. I said, what do you mean? He said, they were saying things that were unfair about how you take care of yourself and making assumptions and almost mocking some of your practices and what you do. And I was like, well, I've been with this healthcare professional for years. That's always how it goes. And he says, oh, well, he just wanted to check in with how it was after the appointment. I thought, I never even thought that was anything wrong with it. And it occurred to me that I noticed that, sometimes when I go into some appointments, whether people realize it or not, they may be trying to find something to cut me down to size, maybe not, maybe I'm just a bit sensitive, but this time around there was a witness to the interaction who found it to be unusual. And so, I was just saying that with the tall poppy syndrome, it's really hard in this age of social media and digital media where you're almost required, if you're going to market and take your services out, to be in a really open platform where you can't see the people that you're interacting with. You can't read the nonverbal behaviors. You can't see the cues. You can't dialogue interact. So what you do is you put on a plastered face and you go out and you bare your soul and you be vulnerable and you almost desensitize yourself to what you're sharing and the cost and the impact it has on yourself, such that when you walk back into your virtual life, you are basically using the same deadened practices just to keep moving and maybe to even protect yourself. But I reckon there is, therefore, a vulnerability cost to being in this space, whether you're a healthcare professional or whether you're in business or whether you're trying to create a space for yourself to shine, that without realizing it, you may actually have a vulnerability factor that's going on, that's just building up without you even realizing it, and it is a cost. And you're going to need, if you don't have people around you to help you to see what that is costing you, you yourself will need to pull back and reflect and just take stock of just how vulnerable you are feeling at this particular time. All right, take care.